Hey guys, Stephen Christoph here with the Gate Drop Pod Show. We are on episode 11. Today's guest we talked to is an up-and-coming amateur. You may have seen him over the years in the PRO Series, Pac West, Thursday Night Motocross. It is the number 28 of Preston Boespflug. He currently rides a Motorsport Hillsboro Honda. He's sponsored by Monster Energy and Fox Racing. He's done photo shoots with Ryan Dungey, Ken Roxon, Joe Shimoda, anyone that wears Fox pretty much. We talk about his racing he's done so far and what he has plans for 2021. We did have a little bit of technical difficulties with the audio, so bear with us. This is episode 11 of the Gate Drop Pod Show, and it starts now. All right, this is episode 11 on the Gate Drop Pod Show. I'm your host, Stephen Christoph. I am with the number 28 of Preston Boespflug. You may have seen him around. He lives in the Battleground, Washington area. He's a multi-time amateur champion. Can I say that?
Yeah, I got 17 number one plates, I think it is.
See? 17 number one plates, way more than me. He's sponsored by Motorsport Hillsboro, Monster Energy, Fox Racing. He's the number 28. How's it been going, Preston?
It's going good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm just, keeping up on doing all these podcasts, photos, media, everything, here and out in the Northwest. I know you just did Thursday Night Motocross last night. How did that go for you?
Yeah, I've been doing them the last 2 weeks, and they're sweet. It was a good time. I get to see all my buddies once a week, and it's fun. Definitely something I look forward to every week.
Oh, yeah. Just throwing out there, you are one crazy, awesome rider, especially on opening night. Just doing that, single onto the table at the rhythm section, which I'll post photos and video clips in here on this podcast for people to see. I looked at that, and I'm all like, I wonder who's going to hit it first. And then the number 28 Motorsport Hillsboro Honda just rails around the corner and then just sends it. And I'm all like, well,
yeah.
that answered that question.
First lap went for it. But no, that actually almost ended my night early last night. In practice, I slid off the face of it. And there's that flagger tower right there. And I brushed the side of that thing when I was landing. So I was pretty close to that.
I'm sure you gave the flagger a heart attack then.
Yeah, no, that was a scary moment for sure, but you wrote it out.
Oh, man. Well, yeah, you're not going to see me doing that. I'm just going to leave that up to you. So going into my questions here, just to back up a little bit, through the 10 years of shooting photos, I'm pretty sure I got photos of you even on your 50. It's been an amazing journey watching you grow. How has motocross been for you so far?
It's been a journey, that's for sure. It's definitely had its ups and downs, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. It's my life now. It's all I do. It's all I've pretty much ever known from when I was a kid, being around dirt bikes and the dirt bike track stuff. Yeah, going good.
Yeah. When did you start riding, for those that are not familiar with all your racing that you've done so far?
Well, I started with drag racing. My dad and my siblings actually drag raced before I raced motocross. So I was doing that when I was about 2 or 3 years old on a quad. So that's
wow.
when I kind of fell in love with like wheels and motocross or engines and stuff like that. So that was where it started. But dirt bike, I started riding when I was like 5 or 6, but I didn't really do my first big race until I was about 10.
Huh. That's interesting, because I know with like riders like Max Miller and Levi Kitchen, like they started pretty early. For you to start kind of getting serious at 10, that's pretty fascinating, since like I said, everyone starts out super early. With your dad being pretty active rider here in the Northwest, did that like help influence you into racing and going down this route to hopefully becoming a professional rider here real soon?
Yeah, for sure. He's definitely like the biggest motivator out of all of them because I got to follow in his footsteps and got some big shoes to fill from him. But no, he definitely pushes me to be the best I can be. And yeah, I wouldn't be riding if it wasn't for him. So yeah, he's definitely encouraged me a lot to keep pushing and make this a living.
For sure. What has been the most challenging race so far, like racing amateur style? Like, I know you've been hanging out here kind of early in your 50s and 65s and even 85s, like doing, Pac West, PRO, kind of local stuff. Like, when did you guys decide to like branch out to bigger races across the nation? And what has been like the most like eye-opening experience for you?
I don't know. That's a hard one to answer. Loretta's for sure, because that was my biggest race right off the bat. I qualified for Loretta's. It actually took me about 4 years to even make it to Loretta's. But after that, yeah, Loretta's was the biggest one for me. But my first amateur event I did was a qualifier in California. And the only reason we were in California was because my dad was actually racing an off-road race, King of the Motos, and we were going home, and we seen the race, and we just stopped, and I did it. I actually almost ended up winning my first moto. So that was when, like, we found out that I could compete with all the top guys. So that's kind of when everything took off.
That was the eye-opening experience of like, wait a second, like I've got this talent and I can totally use it on the dirt bike.
Yeah, no, that was a big eye-opener for sure. Got me excited.
Sweet. With your 17 titles you have, like, where did you get all these titles at? Or did you go to Ponca, Freestone? Like, where has your racing so far taken you in the United States?
Yeah, no, I haven't gone to Ponca yet, just because it kind of died out there for a while. I think it's coming back now, but I haven't been to Ponca. But my first title I got was from the Amsoil Arena Cross.
Okay.
On 65s. So that's when my first one came, and then I think I got 5 or 6 from there. And then I have one for Mammoth. I think I have 2 from Cali Classic. And then, man, I don't know. I got them from just some other events. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Lost
honestly.
Count.
I think a few of them came from the Fly National. And then,
okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. So with Amsoil Arena Cross, I know that's kind of changed over to Kicker Arena Cross. Like, what was that experience like growing up on 65s and whatnot? Because I know like riders such as Ryder Fisher did that a bunch, and then you did the same thing. What was that experience like being on a little bike, like racing? Pretty much, I guess, in your shoes at that age would be like a supercross track for you. What was that experience like?
No, that was like a blast. That was some of the most fun times I've had on a dirt bike, just with all my buddies racing like same track as the pros on the same night. It like helped a lot with my bike skills. And so that was definitely a fun part of my amateur career is racing those and traveling to all of them with all my buddies, and that was a definitely fun times. And I'm bummed that that series got canceled or ended.
Yeah.
But
with arena cross, and then you, like, how old are you now, by the way?
I just turned 16 yesterday.
Oh wow! Well, happy birthday.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
With the arena cross and whatnot, and then just kind of touching base with like Ryan Brees and other riders like Max Miller as well. There's not really any supercross tracks up here to practice on and whatnot here in the Northwest. And Max was saying like he's gone down to California and he's been training with Nathan Ramsey and whatnot. Is supercross kind of a plan for you in the future, and how do you prepare yourself for that?
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely on my schedule, is to go supercross if I can continue with what I'm doing. But no, everybody kind of that gets more serious about motocross moves down to California, because honestly, that's where you have to be if you want to make it a reality. And so down there's every track has a supercross track, so it's a lot easier down there. But for sure, up here, there's not a whole lot. I'm fortunate enough to have a supercross track in my house, but it's either underwater or muddy, so I can't really ride that a lot.
Yeah, I bet that could be a little challenging up here. What was your first? Have you like? I'm assuming you've experienced like being on a supercross track before. Like, what are the differences for you, like racing, for example, Thursday night motocross to doing an Amsoil Arena Cross to racing a supercross track? Like, are you feeling like comfortable on that kind of setup on racing styles and whatnot?
Yeah, a lot of people like ask why I ride supercross during the winter time in California, and that's just so like getting experience, because any riding on that stuff helps. Like the first week is insane how much you can like learn from it, and it helps so much with bike control, and being a technical like rider teaches you a lot. So it's really good to get some time on supercross tracks when you can.
Yeah, I just thought it was so interesting when I was talking to Max Miller. He said that he feels way more comfortable on a supercross track than motocross, which I found interesting because like knowing like you and him and Kitchen and whatnot, like you guys, like you were saying prior, you have to go down to California to kind of do the supercross tracks and whatnot. I know I did a little bit of quick research on YouTube, and it looks like Supercross Futures was something you did. How was that experience racing in the Supercross Futures, like under the lights in the big stadiums?
Yeah, that was really cool. The first few years, they kind of struggled with tracks and trying to find a happy medium for that suits everybody. But those are a really, really good stepping stone from outdoors to supercross, because they're not too technical, but enough where you get the point where you have to be consistent with it. So those were a lot of fun. It kind of took me back to the Amsoil days with all my buddies.
Yeah, did the jumps kind of, I know like the first year, it kind of looked like a really dumbed down like supercross where it was like super easy for all skill levels. Did it progress eventually to make it more kind of like the arena cross style tracks?
Yeah, at first it was super mellow, like nobody liked it, but they definitely have peaked them up a lot more over the years, and so they're getting a lot more technical. But I think it's good that they started out with like a more mellow track, because now people advanced with the track, so that's kind of helped everybody out in the long run.
Oh, nice. I do have a question here regarding your overseas races. I think the only other person that I know of that like locally has done that has been Ryan Brees over in Europe. How the heck did you get over into Europe? And then I even saw photos from the past, like you ended up racing in Africa. Like, how did all that come about?
Yeah, well, the first time I went to Europe, it was because of my mechanic at the time, still my best friend pretty much, Devin Harriman, was my mechanic. And he got the invite to go over, and he pretty much said that he's not going unless I can go race. And so that's kind of how that came up. It was me, Devin, and Tommy Week went over together to the Dutch Supercross. And that's actually the same one that Brees went to. So, yeah, that's kind of how that came up, just buddies.
Huh. Small
just having
world.
A good group of friends, yeah.
What was that experience like going overseas and racing with a bunch of Dutch fans? Like, I know Ryan was saying when he was battling with Tyler Bowers, like the crowd gets absolutely nuts there. Is there any differences that you can like kind of speak of regarding like how the crowd is?
Yeah, they're definitely a lot louder, and they go pretty wild over there. It's like any little thing that happens, you'd hear everybody screaming. It's awesome. And they're definitely into it over
there. Bunch of crazy Euros.
Yeah.
Oh man. How did your African race like go? Like, how did you get into doing all that stuff, and what was the style of racing like over there?
It's, I don't know, motocross. It doesn't really change as it goes over there, but yeah, it doesn't really change much. It's pretty much the same thing. Just riders are a lot gnarlier. I wouldn't say gnarlier. They're just a different style of riding, kind of. But yeah, it doesn't really change much.
Are they more like not afraid to like push the envelope and like bar bang over there?
Yeah, they're a lot more aggressive. I wouldn't say they're faster. They're about the same, but they're not scared to put you on the ground. But it makes it a lot more fun.
Whole bunch of Jason Lawrences over there.
Yeah, yeah. But like everybody gets along over there. Everybody's friends. Like no matter what happens on the track afterwards, everybody's friends. But over here, you even get close to somebody and the tweets are going out.
What part of Africa was that when you went over there? Didn't you do that on your 85?
I was on 85s at the time.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious, like, did you get to know someone to, like, get that opportunity? Like, how did that come about?
Yeah, there's a kid that races here in the U.S. that is from Africa, and he invited me over there to race with him. So that was just another buddy that helped me out.
So what you're saying is connections are really good.
Yeah, it's good being friends with everybody.
Oh, yeah. With racing and whatnot, with especially your skill level now, just progressing, how do you motivate yourself to push harder and get faster every time?
Yeah, there's days where the motivation is definitely low, but just I don't know where I would be without motocross and what I would do. So, yeah, I just would rather live this life than go work a job. So it keeps me pretty motivated to stay racing. Not a lot of people have the opportunity that I have, so I'm going to use it while I can.
For sure. For kids like trying to get that same motivation as you, like what are your kind of takeaways for kids to try to follow in your footsteps?
Don't give up, I guess. It sounds like what everybody says, but yeah, just don't give up and keep pushing.
So, did you do Freestone?
Yeah, I did Freestone this year.
What was that like racing down in Texas? Like the climate and whatnot. How was that experience racing against a lot of the big boys there?
Yeah, that is Texas is one of my favorite events, and like the tracks are so good there. So the humidity, I think, helps hold the moisture in the track. So the tracks are a lot better, and I honestly like it a lot more racing on the East Coast. So, yeah, I think that's a lot more fun over there.
Are the jumps bigger and kind of more technical over there compared to our tracks here in the Northwest?
Honestly, they're not. The jumps aren't bigger. A lot of the nationals honestly don't have a whole lot of jumps. If you've like watched them, they don't have a lot of jumps, but they're a lot more technical because of the ruts. If like there's a rut going from corner to corner, and so you got to stay in those, so it's hard. But they're a lot more technical.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just curious, like, what has been your like most challenging part of like amateur racing so far?
Honestly, trying to find something that works for me, as in like a program, training and working out, and trying to find trainers. Now I fortunately found an awesome trainer that like makes it fun for me, and he's like the best trainer I've trained with. I've trained with a lot of good trainers, but this one really hits home. But trying to find a good trainer and like workout schedule, because everybody's different, and it's just you got to ask around, but you got to find what works for you. So just experimenting and learning.
Yeah. What is the training like for you, if you don't mind sharing? Like, are you set on like a Monday through Friday program? Like, how does it play out for you for all your racing and whatnot this year?
Yeah, with my trainer now, Yanning Travella with MXC coaching, he lays it out at the beginning of the week. We're in a group text message, and he gives us the week schedule on every Monday or every Sunday, I guess. So he's got it pretty organized. So that makes it a lot easier knowing what I'm doing for the week right off the bat.
Nice. Are you having to do like nutrition kind of stuff or weight training? Like what's the average kind of weekday training for you to get ready for racing?
Yeah, we do it all from nutrition to the gym to racing. So we work out and like watch what we eat all the time, and our trainer helps us with all that. So that's nice having it all in one space or one trainer.
Sounds like you've got a lot going on. Is there any riders that you're constantly mixing it up with when you hit these big amateur races, like a common denominator rider? I know, like Ryan Brees, for example, he'd always be battling with riders such as like Vince Freeze and Kyle Chisholm and whatnot. Have you noticed, like during your racing, that you're like kind of in the same pack of riders?
Yeah, we all honestly train together. Everybody is kind of in California, so everybody that I train with every week, we all race together. So I'm pretty used to being around those riders, and we've all kind of grown up together. But yeah, the top few, like Rider D, I've kind of grown up with him and being in like the same classes as him. So he's always been there, and there's a lot of them. But yeah, we always ride together. So we're kind of up to date with how the other person's doing.
Nice. Yeah, with Rider D being kind of a common rider for you, is your goal always trying to beat him? Like, what makes you like fired up to race against him?
Yeah, you're always, trying to beat the next guy. But yeah, I enjoy racing with him a lot, and we're always we're pretty competitive, but we're good friends, so it makes it fun because we want to beat him, or we want to beat each other, just for bragging rights, honestly. But so yeah, that keeps it going.
Do you have that Jet Lawrence, Joe Shimoda kind of friendship vibe?
Yeah, yeah. And Joe trains with Yanning, so we train together. I train with Joe every day. So
Oh wow,
he's
didn't even know that.
yeah,
Breaking news.
yeah. No, I'm at Joe's house every day working out with him, so we got a pretty tight friendship too.
Nice. With being on the big bike now, what was your reason for choosing Honda? Because I know in your 65s and 85 days at least, you were on a KTM and Husky. Was Honda kind of an interest, like, to try to get with Geico? Like, what was your reasoning behind choosing the Honda CRF for your big bike?
Yeah, I always grew up riding KTM and Husky, kind of switching back and forth my whole little bike career. But we kind of had some stuff lined up with them. But as everybody knows, they fell through. Their team is no longer, unfortunately. So we kind of had stuff lined up with them. That was the plan. But no, they're just great bikes. And my mechanic, Ty, has one, and I rode his and loved it. So after that, I just kind of stuck with them and staying with them as long as I know.
Yeah, and I gotta admit, you're flowing like perfectly, like fine on the Honda. What are the differences for you, especially like now you've like kind of reached you're only like one bike away from a 450, which is kind of like the final stage for like big bikes and whatnot. What was the transition like going from 50s to 65s to 85s to big bikes? Like, what did you like most about getting onto the next bike?
Learning, honestly. We get pretty bored riding the same bike for years. And so when you get on a new bike, there's always so much more to learn. And it's kind of like a breath of fresh air in a sense.
Was there any challenging like bike sizes that at first you're like, whoa, I don't know if I can handle this? Like at first, like was the progression from 50 65 pretty severe?
Yeah, the bike I would say I struggled with the most is probably 125s, honestly. I'm not sure why. That's the first bike I came back from when I broke my leg, so I was still coming back from that and trying to learn a new bike. So I'd say I struggled with one.
You still there?
Yeah, you there?
Yeah. Sorry, it like cut out for a moment. So from 85 to 125, you say that was your hardest?
Yeah, yeah, 125s for sure.
Hmm. Yeah, I know most of the riders that I've talked to, like, I know just with the whole, like, the common thing, like, with clutches and whatnot, 50s to 65 is usually, like, rough for them. I find it interesting that the 125 was kind of hard for you. Um, you said you got hurt for Monster Energy Cup. Are you gonna, if it comes back, are you gonna try to, like, race the amateur class for that event?
Yeah, I would be in the All-Star class now. So that's the last class that they have. So yeah, that's what I would be in this year. But I don't know if it's coming back or what they're doing with that.
Yeah, hopefully it comes back because I know it is always super fun to watch. I know it's just with your injuries and whatnot, the opportunity to race like in front of everyone like wasn't there, which is a bummer because I know like we had promos on TV of you and whatnot, which gets me into this question: like, how did you get connected with Fox Racing?
Through Joey Lancaster. At first, he kind of introduced me to them, and then from there, I just kind of built a relationship and been a part of the Fox family since.
What was the experience like shooting promo videos with riders such as Ryan Dungey, Forkner, and then your buddy Ryder D? Did you do any videos with Ken Roxon?
Yeah, I took videos with Roxon last summer in Florida at Moto Sandbox. I think those are in one of the Fox magazines. But yeah, I've always looked up to these guys and have watched them on TV, and it's pretty cool, like being in photo shoots with them and lining up next to them for pictures and stuff. So it's definitely like a big motivator.
Was it like a surreal feeling?
Yeah, it's meeting all my idols. Not only meeting them, but like being in a photo shoot with them. It's pretty insane.
With doing photo shoots and whatnot, what was that kind of experience like?
Um, they're fun. It's definitely a lot of pressure because you got to like look good. You're promoting the company and writing for them, so it's a lot of pressure, but it's a lot of fun. we have a good time when we do it.
Did you get to hang out with like Ken Roxon and Dungy and Faulkner a lot, or what was it? Just kind of show up, do your thing, and then just kind of head out? Like, what was the
No,
vibe like with those riders?
No, we're all together for the whole day. We have lunch together, and we're constantly together the whole time, on and off the track.
Nice. Yeah, I'm just like I'm so jealous, like with you, Preston, because you got to hang out with Ryan Dungey 1-on-1, and that's always been my number one guy. And then I see you throwing whips and doing oppos with all them and whatnot. I'm like, man, this kid is so lucky.
Yeah, no, it's definitely fortunate to have Fox as a sponsor.
Yeah, and did that like which came first, Fox or Monster? Because like I know you've got that Monster deal as well. Like, how did that come about?
Yeah, Fox came first. Fox was one of my first sponsors and is my biggest sponsor, one of the biggest. But yeah, Fox came first, and then Monster. Yeah, we just sent my resume in at the end of the year for Monster, and they fortunately replied back, and I've been on them since.
So are we gonna see any like future like Axel Hodges, Preston Boespflug like mashup videos? What's coming down the pipeline?
I don't know. Axel's jumps look pretty big. I don't know if my 250 would even make those things. He's like fourth wick on a 450. But even if my bike could make them, I don't know if I'd hit those. Those are pretty big. So I don't know if you'll see that.
Is that the limit? Like, nope, can't go Axel Hodges.
Yeah, no, those are huge jumps, and he goes like upside down on them. There's no way I would try that.
So what you're saying is the PIR single onto the table is maybe like just a step close to it, but nothing farther.
Yeah, no, he's that's more technical than it is wide open. But
For sure. What are your plans for the rest of 2021? Do you plan on trying to go for Loretta's again?
yeah, we got regionals coming up here in a few weeks to qualify for Loretta's. So I qualify. If I qualify, I will go to Loretta's, and then I have Mammoth coming up here in a few weeks. And then Mini O's at the very end of the year. So I think that's the rest of my schedule.
What are you looking forward to most?
Loretta's. Loretta's has always been probably my favorite race. It's definitely in the top 3. So I'm looking forward to that.
How many times have you gone there? Because I know you were 94 at one point. I can't recall how many trips you've made it over there.
Yeah, I think this will be my 4th or 5th year.
Nice. And what is your goal there to achieve? Number 1, of course.
Yeah, this year I'm going to win it this year. So I'm gonna go there hoping to win and trying to win. We just gotta put in the work and just put the pieces to the puzzle together and do it right.
Nice. I like that attitude. Final question here before we wrap up. I know we've just been rapid firing through all the questions I have.
No, you're good.
For those who want to follow you and stay up to date on where you're going to be, what's the best place for people to connect with you on?
Instagram, 100%. I use Facebook, but that's just for like friends and family. But no, I post everything on Instagram, probably more than I should. But I like to stay in touch and be close with my, fans, you can call them, but my friends.
What's your Instagram tag for people to search up?
Preston Boespflug _28. Probably won't be able to spell my last name, but it should be on the title of this podcast.
Oh, yeah. I'll put it on there easy for people to copy and paste. I've been cracking up with your last name and whatnot. So many people like butchered. I'm sure you're like, yeah, I've heard that one before.
Yeah, no, it's everybody messes it up, but you kind of just get used to it.
Yeah, I think if I had a nickel for every time someone said your last name, Boespflug, that I think I'd be even richer.
Yeah. No, I don't think I've ever heard anybody say it right off the get-go. But yeah, it's I'm definitely used to hearing people pronounce it wrong now.
Yeah, just go with the flow.
Yeah.
Well, Preston, I have ran out of questions. Do you have any questions for me?
Are we gonna see you at Washougal this weekend?
Oh yeah, I'll be there. Washougal Saturday and Sunday, the whole 7 series. So I will be posting this.
Go.
I will be posting this podcast next Friday, so it will be a little dated, but that's no worries.
Oh.
Do you plan on doing kind of Washougal? Like, what's the local stuff besides doing Loretta's this year?
Yeah. I'm going back to California. I want to say Wednesday, so it would have been last Wednesday. So yeah, I'm unfortunately going out of town. So Washougal is going to be my last kind of local race, but I like racing up here a lot. It's fun coming back and seeing all my friends that I haven't seen in a long time, but I'm coming to go back to California and get back to work for Loretta's.
Sweet. Well, I know everyone here in the Northwest is looking forward to seeing you get a number 1 plate at Loretta's, and we're super excited, and we're going to keep cheering you on. So we will follow you on Instagram and make sure, we see what you're up to date and what you're doing.
Yeah, thank you. I kind of let everybody down last year, so I'm going to try and make it up with bringing home a number 1 plate. But yeah, I'll let you guys know what I've been up to on Instagram.
Heck yeah, you may have to build more shelving for all your trophies.
If that's the hardest thing I got to do, I wouldn't be complaining.
Oh, awesome. This is Preston Boespflug. On this podcast, Stephen Kristoff here with the Gate Drop Pod Show. We are signing out.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thanks, guys, for listening to the Gate Drop Pod Show. If you enjoy all the episodes that we have done so far, make sure to hit the subscribe button on YouTube and share with your friends and family. We will be making many more weekly and posting here on YouTube, so make sure to subscribe on Gate Drop Productions, follow Gate Drop Productions on Facebook, and follow Gate Drop Productions on Instagram at GateDrop_Pro. Hope you guys have a fantastic weekend.